watch it.
I always find it. I can find MTV
Constantly.
It's because it's the best. Because you don't have to worry about like what you're gonna watch. It's still on. We spend a lot of time in hotels
We
together.
want mindlessness. No choices required.
No, that's the joy of that. That's all I'll say. Anyway, guitar shops and guitar shop turnoffs.
Hate them. Hate them all.
Well, that's one of the big. Yeah, who doesn't? I mean, that's one of the big like launchers of this guitar shop. Is when we were putting it together. Is like, I love guitar shops and I hate guitar shops.
Oh yeah.
Like I love the idea of them, and then you go to them, and it never quite lives up to my expectation of what I want.
It can often be a letdown, because especially you build it up like I'm going to the guitar shop on Saturday. It's gonna be amazing. Oh,
Sometimes it is amazing and it exceeds all your expectations. That's happened to me more often than not lately. Thank the gods. But back in the day, and like in my little young blonde eyes, looking forward to the future, disappointment unfolded all often.
yes.
So let's just break into some of our thoughts on what they are, and I want to hear like what you guys think too, because it's always fun to sort of learn, and we might do better that way, do more better.
Do more better.
So I'll kick it off. The snobby, disinterested sales associates.
Would you say they're aloof?
Yes, that is a common thing.
Yeah.
For like, especially like the boutique small guitar shops. You get the guy that's like, he's pretty much a librarian. It's always a guy. It seems like that is this character. That's the librarian that like just doesn't want to be bothered by you.
Yes.
And he will belittle you if you don't know. Like, well, that obviously is a 54, not a 55.
I've tried to model my shop persona on this.
You are that guy
It's the
pretty
way.
well.
It's the way.
Mixed with the dirty hippie.
How people want to be sort of condescended to, you know.
But it seems to be like one of those rare things, like it's a guitar shop thing.
Sometimes
you don't see that at like a lot of other businesses. Maybe it's some jewelry stores back in the old days, or like fancy women's clothing boutiques. Maybe.
I feel like if I'd ever gone to like a fancy car place, maybe they don't let me in those places.
No,
I can't even go on the lot. It's weird.
Like you're talking about like Kia.
Kia, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a brand new Kia.
No, sorry. No,
Get out of here.
There's that new Kia. I don't know what it is. Like that new, like the SUV thing is like amazing.
They look really good.
It's amazing. Like I'm like, I want that car. Like I'm driving a 2006 thing, but that's that car. I'll trade it. Man, he's got that new Kia. I'll take it.
Someday, if I let Christy learn to drive, that's what we're looking at.
That's his wife. That's his wife's sister. Your sister's very attractive.
She is.
Yeah, she's But anyway, so let's continue with the salespeople there that are often there.
I mean, you know, sometimes they don't let you play anything.
Right. Yeah. It's that is weird in a guitar store. It's like, well, can I play this? Like, well, they sort of I hear this question: what kind of guitar do you own? Like, are you qualifying me right now? I'm obviously a guitar player. Look how funny I am. I look weird. I'm wearing all denim. I have a guitar shop shirt on. I mean, you just let me play the guitar, please. And then sometimes they'll be like, you know, you can't play this guitar because this is the nicest one in the shop. It's $250. Or it's just let the people play the guitar. If it's $2,500, or if it's $5,000, or if it's $10,000.
Pretty much let people play.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, sometimes we even encourage. They're like, no, I can't play that. We're like, no, you're here. It's fun. Play it.
There are certain ones like we have to like be like a little bit careful. Like, hey, like I'm handing you a loud, and can you please be careful with it? This is a PRS. Please don't be like playing shreddy stuff with hard downstrokes in your pick to scratch the fretboard. I mean the fretboard. I mean the body, the top.
The body.
Back to the salespeople, though, like you were mentioning earlier, like the sort of like the used car salesman attitude type too.
Yeah.
That's one of those like it's so the biggest things are like the people,
pushy.
the people.
Yeah.
Like if you go into a shop and it sucks.
Well, there's that balance because like, you know, you don't want to be ignored, but then you don't want to be hounded either, right? You know, like I pick something up and they're like negotiating in a pushy, aggressive way. There's that balance. Like say hello, be cool, make sure that people know that you like the fact that they're there, and then kind of let them do their thing. That
is nice. Yeah, I think about my experience at some of the bigger shops I've been to. Like when I'm playing guitar, like then I get like a younger sales associate. The older guys sort of got their routine down. They understand, just like leave the guy alone, let him try the guitars. He'll like it or he won't, and then I can close it if I need to. But the younger guys are like, hey, no, like if they're getting a push to like, hey, we need to sell this brand of guitar more than this one. The points are higher, your payout's gonna be higher. We need to sell them. Like you might get directives from your boss, and that's your job.
Of course.
But, you know, if you're somewhat savvy, you can tell what's coming. Like, hey, you should, I know you're playing this nice Taylor here, but we got this brand that we actually helped make.
This sweet Mitchell.
I wasn't going to say that because I didn't want to give away who I was talking about.
Okay,
I was trying to hide that. But okay, I was thinking exactly about a Mitchell. But it's like, no, this is just as good or better. And it's like, you know, it's 1/8 the price. You'll be happy. Like, you won't. But that's sort of a weird thing that happens a lot. And
There's satisfied Mitchell owners out there.
And like,
That's nothing wrong with that if you got a Mitchell.
And one of the best guitar salespeople I know still is he's from GC. I knew two. It was Michael Thrower, who was at GC Pro, and then Donnie Rod, who's at Taylor now.
There you go.
But he was at GC for 30 years. Man. And I still have all you guys, like whenever he comes by, I'm like, listen to Donnie's words of wisdom. Sometimes he's crazy, and sometimes he's on a boat, but he's usually right about
Don.
something.
That's what we call him.
What do you call him?
Wild Donnie Rod.
Do you call him that?
No.
It's Adventures
You call
with
him
Don.
Donnie Rod, yeah.
Yeah, I do call him Donnie Rod a lot.
But he's awesome. We love Donnie Rod.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
He is one of the best.
I'm gonna stop saying cheerleader moments for him. But that's like one of the best. Like that's when GC was in its glory days,
Yes.
though. And we don't need to get in that whole. That's a whole other conversation.
Glory days.
One of the worst things too is like, and we're always doing this because we get a lot of guitars coming in and out before we can even get to them. Sometimes nothing is in tune when you walk in. That's the worst. Because if the guitar's not in tune, for some reason psychologically, you're automatically, that guitar's off the radar for you.
Because you have that initial moment is either magic or it's yeah.
No. I think it's more like it just sucks.
Yeah,
it takes the joy out of it.
It does.
And then you just want to eat like a blowfish that could kill you unless it's prepared properly.
Right.
So the no pixel out thing.
No.
That's a contention. And we've been guilty of it before too.
It's like you said, like I get both sides because, you know, if it's a $10,000 Loudon with pig scratches,
yada yada.
You know, and I do think this is where like sometimes you sort of can figure out talking to someone and watching them play other guitars. Hey, this person knows how to play a really expensive guitar and not screw it up because it's not theirs yet. Or maybe this person doesn't, you know.
But sometimes you just don't know. Because I had this one guy play, and he was qualified. I sort of already watched him. He's playing. He's like, "Oh, I want to play it loud." I'm like, "Cool." So I get, and what he did, like he was doing the two-hand tapping thing, and like he missed, and he put a nice little thing into the top of the guitar, just a nice Sinker Redwood, S50 series Loudon, in that sort of $8,000 to $10,000 range, and I was like, oh.
Congratulations.
And, and I didn't see him do it. He put it was finally, and he put it in the case, and then he left. And like I noticed it right after he left. I was like, oh. And I'm not gonna like hound the guy anyway. I knew who he was. I could but we found a buyer for the guitar. We had to take some money off, obviously, a bit. But that's a scary thing. So sure. I get it. I don't get it. We're trying to let everyone play with picks, unless it's an artisan type of top or a PRS.
We do too. It would just be like try to very just nice be careful. Say, hey, please be careful.
But always picks allowed.
Sir, could you remove your 17 knives, your belt buckle?
We do have to do that.
Your zipper jacket.
And like I had this really cool kid. He looked like he came from Rockingham the other day
yes.
with his female friend from up north, and that was loud. And
update.
And I was like, what's happening there?
Okay.
We have a computer down there. We're not even actually using it for anything. But it's there just in case like we go too long. It says stop talking.
It's true.
Stop now. It doesn't do. That's Derek's job.
That'd be awesome.
No, but he had like suspenders on. He had makeup like the Joker kind of. It looked really cool. His hair was like all crazy. He literally looked like the Joker. And I was like, bro, you dress that way in Rockingham? Because if so, respect. He's like, well, I don't really leave the house much. I'm like, I figured as much. But I'm glad you're here because I like kids that can be themselves.
I feel like you could walk through Rockingham like that. You'd be okay.
I should have gotten a picture. This kid was he was out there in a great way. 100% support that. Be wild when you're young. Anyway, but he took his suspenders off. And I said, hey, do you mind watching your suspenders? He's like, oh, no problem. I'll take them off. I'm like, that's all you got to do.
No big deal.
That's it. And then you have a guitar shop. If you're a guitar shop guy, you're like, no picks, no playing. Like you own a guitar shop. That's the price of doing business.
It's true.
Unless you're online only. And God bless you. That's a lot easier.
That's a whole nother set of headaches.
It's a lot. I mean, we do that's like 90% of our business probably, and
probably is that much now.
It's like 80 to 90 somewhere in there. It's a lot.
It's crept up there.
It used to be like 5%, and it's like, oh my Lord, what is happening? This is the one you came up with. The volume.
Oh, so sometimes it's not cool if they won't let you play loud at all. But conversely,
Worse.
You like that, didn't you? Conversely.
Yeah, go. That was a big word for you.
What if you walk in and there's like 10 dudes playing, they're all playing different things, and everyone has their amp on 10? That's also, I usually just turn around and walk right out the door because I'm old and kind of curmudgeonly.
When our shop is set up to where like we have isolated rooms somewhat, and we can sort of separate people if that starts because we have sort of a rule of like if there's one guy in the main room playing an amp, there's one guy in the main room playing an amp. If there's another side room, there's one guy in there playing an amp. We have back studios, we have back side rooms, we have a back hallways that are filled with guitars everywhere, but we try to have one in each at the most.
Yeah, which I think is kind of brilliant for the shop. Like we can separate people because you can't really hear whether you're trying the guitar or the amp, and you know we get that you want to try it at volume. Like that's cool,
and
because,
I want you to.
That's realistic. Absolutely,
and it's fun.
So it's nice to be able to stick people in different places so they can actually hear themselves.
Well, and that sort of leads me to my next point is like having these separate isolated places is such what I love. When I go into a guitar shop, I've been playing for a few years, but I still get this sense of unease and nervousness. Like I'm playing and you're in a microscope, you're in a fishbowl. Everybody's like, and like nobody really cares, but people are watching and listening, and I just want to play the guitar and test it out and hear it. I'm not here to do a concert. Some of you might be there to show off your Seven Nation Army or whatever song, which is awesome that you learned that. I love it. But no,
we're there for it.
Isolated rooms so you can play.
That is almost more nerve-wracking than like playing a show, right?
It's weird because everyone there is a guitar player.
And you're like, God.
Everyone that works there is a guitar, and they are judging you. Like,
you start to get the stance.
Like,
or they're just like,
Or if the sales associate stands there, like hands you the pick and like just stays with you the whole time. Like a lot of time you want them to hang out with you, but if he sits there and just watches you, it's like
that's the look. Like, yeah.
And then the sort of the fake smile. Like okay, or this weird like sense like I could do better. It's like, what is your brain happening there, you strange man? Just let it go. This kid's shredding it. I love it. I love when a kid just like destroys it. I don't like those videos where like a guy goes like, hey, I'm gonna act like I'm a total noob and then just shred and just trick all the guitar players at the guitar. They're not tricked. Like they just think, oh, you just like that was just an asshole thing to do, but cool. Thank you for that. I think it's I do love funny. Watch Ross Creations if you haven't watched that before.
There you go.
Amazing YouTube channel. So, and then the other one of the worst things probably is nothing to play.
Just nothing.
If there's nothing that you want to play at all. And that has happened before. Sometimes there's no guitars. But often it's just no guitars that you find interesting.
So it's kind of like when people come here and there are no Schecters.
No, I was going to make that as a serious point though. Because like we don't carry many metal guitars. Like we've talked to Jackson and Ibanez and stuff. We've considered sort of some of those relationships. But it's just our heart and our time being able to put to these brands is just not completely there yet.
Yeah.
So like we focus on because we only have so many hours in the day, and like
That's right.
It's not just like you get guitar, sell guitar. Like we put a lot of work behind the guitars, the inventory write-ups, like getting them photographed well, the videos, knowing the line, and just really servicing our customers that are existing customers. So to bring in a new line it's a serious commitment.
It's tricky, yeah.
And so we don't service the metal community as good as we should.
It's probably true.
And I love the metal community.
We do. We just made a metal video.
We did. I don't think it's out yet.
No.
I don't think it's out yet.
Spoiler.
So it's coming, or it's out. But
who knows?
No, it's like I particularly love the older metal dudes too. Like the ones that are like, yeah, dude, I shred like old school metal. And then you meet these young kids that are just getting into Maiden. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Pretty cool.
And you see them with the little British dead thing with the flag. What do they call them, the Reaper or something?
Something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, we're not metal enough to know that. But those are kind of our like sort of top things that drive us bonkers. Mainly, it comes down to the people, because right?
Yeah, I can pretty much overlook everything else if people are cool.
Because I've been in some pretty like low rent type of guitar shops. Not much nice stuff in there, but the humans were awesome.
They're awesome, and they just love music and they love guitar. And you chat with them, and you hang out, and you do whatever, and then you go on your merry way.
And then you go into some of the best guitar shops like Chicago Music Exchange and Wildwood and stuff, and they still treat you just the same.
Amazing humans, awesome.
It's amazing. And then you go into some of these other we don't diss talk on like shops like that in the indie world like that, but there's some indie ones that are pretty big, but the sales associates aren't so nice.
Less engaged.
And it's really disappointing. So like if you have a local shop that you like, consider yourself incredibly lucky and blessed to have that in your, because it's rare. Like I didn't really have that as a kid.
Yeah,
I remember driving 8 hours to go to Manny's, to go like my first real music shop. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. My guitar teacher at the time, he's since passed away, Danny Infantino. He took me up there.
That's cool.
To go buy, like he drove me there, and I took a plane back. No, I took a train back, I think.
Wow.
With my guitar that I bought at Manny's, classical. I still have it to this day. Yeah. So if you have a great guitar shop, support them.
That's true.
Wherever it is, like go and if there's stuff they can do to do better, let them know.
It's true.
Like we listen to advice, like because we don't do everything perfectly. We're still learning along the way.
Not always.
And like we want to do better. Like there was a few folks that were in the shop the other day. I didn't get to spend much time with them. You did.
Yes.
They bought something. It's just cool. As a father and son, the son had a hat. I felt terrible afterwards. Like I was fixated because I had my kids running around and like 2 were sick, and I was fixated on this one sale for this PRS guy. I had to get him the email sent. And I was like, oh my God, I only spent like a minute talking to those people. I apologize if you're watching this video now. Do you remember their names?
They had a really cool SG Junior.
Really cool looking family though.
They were super cool.
The kid looked awesome with the hat, with the yellow.
That's true.
And like I felt terrible. I was like, because I love meeting people that are fans of the channel. And I was like,
they were super cool.
I only got to spend like a minute.
Super cool, dude. Yeah.
My apologies. And that was awesome. Your kid's really cool. Almost as cool as you, youngster, because you did have a cool face too. You were weird looking like me, so I appreciated that.
He was an actual blues lawyer.
Yes.
He not only does he play the blues, he was actually a lawyer, which I thought was really funny. He's like, I'd never heard that, but now I know that.
What do you mean you've never heard that?
He'd never heard the term.
And we had Harrison in here over the weekend, who is a metal lawyer.
There you go.
He's an actual lawyer, and he's an Ingve freak, and he's going to be building one of the coolest master builds we've ever done, which I'm super excited for. Sir Ron Thorne, prepare yourselves, get your pants on, and make sure you have some space in them because it's going to get exciting. That got dirty. I'm sorry, but I'm excited about this guitar more than I've been in a while. And Ron's about to start one that I'm super excited about too for a special friend of mine up in Vermont.
There you go.
He just got the call. It's so exciting when a master build happens, and like
it is exciting.
They get the call and they're like, I'm on the desk. Like for the 28th, they're going to start on me. It's like, Anyway, let us know what you think, your thoughts, ins and outs, yins and yangs. Jonathan, what do you think? Take it home.
I think there you go. So, let us know what your guitar turnoffs are. I will say this.
Saucy.
My last warning, not warning, warning's the wrong word. If you go in your local guitar shop and you have a bad experience, go back. Because we're all human, and occasionally we are probably guilty of all these things.
Right. It might have been a bad day. And,
you never know.
And if you did, like, let them know. Like, just talk to them. Like, hey, or just go back and reevaluate once again. I'd say do that, like, over writing a mean thing on Google.
Probably.
I've seen that a lot with, like, guitar shops. I can tell that one person just had... There was one bad experience, a rough day, and then they decided to write something mean, and now it's on that person's business forever. Like,
it's true.
Just like, give him a second chance.
Say hello. Yeah, at least one more.
Tell them the gang from Casino said, hey, try a little kindness. Take two. Don't be a jerk face this time, guitar shop alpha.
That's right.
I'm going home.
I think that's it. That was the end. Hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Click the bell so you don't miss stuff in the future. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.